Lady, I just feel like I won't get you out of my mind. I feel love for the first time, and I know that it's true. I can tell by the look in your eyes.
That was Jenny Owens going down in the combined, where she finished 9th, an incredibly good result. I think it's our second best performance in the alpine skiing caper, and she's here tonight. Can you please make welcome from Ski Australia, Jenny Owens? Good to see you, Jenny, and thanks very much for coming in. You know, they call it the greatest snow on earth here in Salt Lake, is it?
It's pretty good. They've looked after it pretty well.
And have you been skiing in this area before, or is this the first time in?
No, this is my first time. We're usually over in Colorado skiing.
Right. Now, does the snow, the quality of the snow, the consistency of the snow vary dramatically from place to place?
Not here, but sometimes it does. It gets quite soft, I guess, sometimes over in Europe when it's a bit warm, because it does get quite warm over there, but usually it's pretty good.
Now, we think we've spotted a bit of a flaw in your technique. You know, we noticed that when you come down the mountain, you don't use the poles at all, and we think we could take 1.5 seconds off your times if you just use the poles a little bit more.
Push them more.
I don't know whether we can get some footage up of you coming down the mountain. We probably can't. But have you ever thought of doing that, or is there any opportunity to include that?
Well, is this in the downhill or the
Yeah, just in the
slalom?
downhill.
Well, you don't really need them except for out at the start. Well, apparently, that's what I've been told. You
Right.
You don't like, when you're going like 100
sport.
kilometres, you don't try and add in that extra push because it's not going to get you anywhere.
Well, how do we know? How do we know? Have you tried?
Isn't it about speed?
Yes. You know, you've got a lot of speed going because you're coming down the mountain. Just imagine how much more if you could just get, say, 1 or 2 in every metre. I reckon you'd be terrific. And look, obviously it's a terrific run yesterday. Now you've got 2 other events coming up. You've got the Super G and the Giant Slalom.
Yep.
And, you know, is there any chance, is there a remote chance, you know, fuelled by the 9th, that you could actually punch through the ice ceiling that's above us and grab a medal in either of these events?
Well, anything's possible, yes. But downhill in the combined is usually my favourite event, and Super G's been going okay, but not that okay, but, you know, it is the Olympics and...
Anything can happen.
That's right.
Roy.
Yes, Jenny, can we talk about does the quality of the snow vary within an event? So if you're going early, it's an advantage, or if you're going late, it's an advantage?
Huge advantage.
Huge advantage.
Yeah.
So which is the advantage? Which way does it go? Tell me about that.
Usually if you have an earlier start, it works quite well, but it also depends on the weather. Like,
yes.
It's such a... If it's been snowing, you're going to be better off starting around 30, but if it's been perfect skies and weather's excellent, then
yes.
you're going to be better off starting around number 5 or number 10.
Right.
And the later it gets back, the slower the course actually gets, so the later you start back, the less advantage you got of doing well.
So in a way it's a lottery.
Yeah.
And how many seconds can that vary throughout the event? Would it vary like 1.5, 2 seconds?
Well, yeah, a lot. Like in the first training day here, I was actually the fastest on the top in the downhill.
Yes.
And in the actual race itself, I was 29th on the top just because it got hot.
Just because of the train.
And it slowed down, so it's a huge difference.
It is a huge difference. So when we saw with another event, when we saw Peekaboo Street come in at 16 or something, she was going quite late, and the person who won it went very early.
Yeah.
So that would have been a disadvantage to her.
Totally, yeah. Everyone said once it got kind of past number 15, everyone started slowing down a lot. So unfortunately, it was her last race, and she was a bit disappointed, but happy to be there.
Okay, so when the lotteries, is it a lottery drawn to see who goes when, or...?
No, it's done even here by World Cup points. The best ranked person chooses their start number, and so on down. They have to choose within the 30. Right. And after 30, it goes in world ranking.
Okay. Yeah. Now, just talking about the AOC in general, one of the themes of our ice dream over the last 7 nights has been how little the AOC, the Australian Olympic Committee, has done to support our winter athletes. Over the years, they've done nothing. In fact, there's been a massive speed hump in the way. They've held our athletes back. Now, is it getting any better?
It's getting a lot better. I mean, usually we only had 2 alpine skiers coming to the Olympics, but obviously they've seen how good we're getting and coming up, so they've actually allowed whoever qualified to go through, so that's been good.
Now, you love speed, obviously, especially with the inclusion of the poles. I think you'll even be going quicker. How fast do you drive a car?
I shouldn't say that, should I?
Well,
depends. Well, I guess in Europe we drive around, you know, between 160 and 170 kilometres.
Per hour?
Yeah. Well, you've got like
That's
10 hours
speeding.
to drive and you've got to get there.
Say that again, you drive at 170 kilometres per hour.
But they're like autobahns.
Yeah, no, I
understand. They go flat out. Now, look, you're in the village there. Who are you sharing with? Are you near the Fijians or the...
We're with the Fijians, the
Yeah.
Kazakhstan and New Zealand.
And do you get on well? Is there...
Well, we don't see them because we've basically got the whole top level.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess they're quite a small team, so they're
Yeah.
kind of broken up between the other two levels.
And have you bumped into His Awesomeness, Jacques Log, who is living in the village? Have you seen him
Well,
much?
I've only been in the village 2 nights, so I haven't seen everyone that's been around, but I've bumped into a few.
Where have you been if you haven't been in the village? Do we need to get a chaperone out? Yeah, that's right. Do we need to get alert the chaperone?
We've been staying up close to the snow base, and otherwise it's an hour and a half drive every morning, and it's early enough start.
Well, you can do that in 3 minutes.
Now, obviously you've heard about the Smiggins bid, and you know there's a very big chance now. We showed the big
Yes.
film last night that it'll get up. What is your ambition for Smiggins, and what would you say was the top priority to get done?
Well, I'm totally all for it, but I'm just a bit worried that when the Austrians and that come over, that they're going to get a bit scared about the slopes.
Yes.
Because it's pretty difficult
Pretty
there.
awesome, aren't
yeah.
They'll have to use their poles a bit more.
Well,
won't they?
exactly.
Because, you know, there's actually no hills.
Yeah.
Well, listen, good luck with the next 2 events, and you, of course, for coming on the show, you get this magnificent pin, which no one else can have except unless you come on the show. And these pins, incidentally, are made by Spotlight, who do a tremendous pin.
Oh, yes.
If you want an Olympic pin made, go to Spotlight. They do a beauty. If you want them copied, they do them just as well.
Oh.
And here it is. And listen, if you'd like to look down the camera there for a happy snap, can I ask the audience to enthusiastically thank...